where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more, and even NFL preseason. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with our guy, former Chiefs tight end Justyn Dunn. JD, how we doing, buddy?
What's up, my brother? How's it going? You doing all right?
I can't complain, man. We 2 more weeks till the season starts. So, yeah, man, Christmas is almost here.
Oh, man, 2 more weeks. Okay, well, hey, I'm ready for it. I am absolutely ready for it. Watched a couple of the preseason games, some of it, and caught a glimpse of some of the things that's been going on out there. Good. Some things maybe not so good. And this is preseason, and that's part of what you're doing. You're trying to work all these little kinks out before you start the season. So, yeah, man, it's been a great time. But yeah, I'm ready to get back into it. The whole swing of things. Just getting to games, watching games on Sunday, like all day, right? It's just like the Sunday is like I get to just chill out and watch games all day. Okay, watch some great football.
Just veg. Well, that's what the fall's for. You get Saturdays to watch college football. I mean, obviously, for us NFL fans, you have a wife, I have a girlfriend, so we can't really spend the whole day watching college football on Saturday. Maybe some games here and there because we're giving up Sunday already. So like you got you got to do something on. You got to get out in the world on Saturday.
Absolutely.
So absolutely. Yeah,
and I'm not really, and completely honest, I'm not a huge college fan. I like to see football in the national National Football League. That's why I love watching the football. That's kind of where I've been at the past few years. College is some things I look at as being some gimmicky. You see a lot of just copycats here and there doing some things. I like the skill of it. I think there's a lot of skillful guys out there. Obviously, there's going to be some teams to watch in college this year. But I'm not really a big college guy. Never have been. Even when I was playing, on Saturdays, we'll be like, after we get finished doing our like a little walkthrough or we'd be, on away games. I just never sat in the room and just watched college games. I just didn't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I probably started getting into college probably when I was like middle school, a little bit before middle school, watching like it was mostly obviously the top 25 teams because my area people were big UVA and Virginia Tech fans. So like growing up, I watched a lot of that. But when I was growing up, the USC Reggie Bush team was the team that I like really sucked me into watching college football. So since then, I've been pretty keen on watching certain teams, and obviously doing the podcast now. Just it helps me. Obviously, I bet on some college games, but it helps me just kind of get ready for the draft to see who's where. Have some prior knowledge on these guys.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, huge NFL guy. So during the fall, I gave up my Saturdays to do the couple stuff. During going to pumpkin patches, going to different things in the fall. The date type stuff is Saturday. Sunday is the day. It's kind of an agreement. Like you veg out on the couch and watch NFL from 10 a.m. watching the pregame shows all the way till midnight watching the postgame Sunday night show.
Oh yeah. Now Sundays, if I go to a game, I like going to games, obviously, and chilling out and doing that. But I think a lot of it is just because there's just so many games out there, right? Who you going to watch unless you're just a fan of a particular team? To me, if you just watch football, and I watch football just because I'm a football guy. I
Yeah.
love football. Just looking over, like I said, the plays and stuff. But what I do see is that it doesn't capture my attention like it does on Sunday.
Yeah.
So.
It really is. It's the big leagues and the minor leagues, and that's what it is.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the NFL is king. That's for sure. So we mentioned it last week on the podcast that Saturday, Chief Concerns will be doing something for Bleacher Report. It was a really special thing. They reached out to us. They wanted us to do a post-game preseason finale reaction show on Bleacher Report. We'll have the link up tomorrow, so you guys can get into that. But yeah, it'll be following the Week 3 preseason game, Browns and Chiefs, which is going to be on NFL Network. So following that game, click the link, follow that path, and JD and I will be doing a reaction show for Bleacher Report. We'll probably be based on the agreement we had talked about. We might do another show for them during the year and stuff, but they reached out to us. They saw they liked Chief Concerns brand, and they were like, we'd love to have you guys come on. So Saturday after the game, around 4:00 probably. Just follow the link, and you get some JD and I a little reaction show to end the preseason.
It's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a really good time. I mean, Bleacher Report, man, is a big deal, and we like people who like us, So
Yes, we do.
the thing is, they reaching out and hollering at us, So we holler back. But this is gonna be just go out here and just kind of talk about the game a little bit, and then kind of the prelude to the season of what we see. Maybe some of the guys that we think from the performance, who will be on the team, who's going to make the 53. All those different things is always good. To kind of get a little touch of that, right?
And plus, since during the season we do the reaction shows after the games, this is kind of like our our preseason game, our one warm up shot before we get into the regular season for our reaction shows.
Yeah, for sure.
Work out the kinks and all that stuff, JD.
Oh yeah.
So obviously lots to get into this week in Chiefs Kingdom. Lots of drama, of course, like every week until this Chris Jones stuff is done. It's like Days of Our Lives, Days of Our Chiefs on Chiefs Twitter or Chiefs X, what do they call it now? So we'll get into the Chris Jones stuff, and also we're gonna begin with the wide receiver room, which has been the biggest topic for us all throughout the offseason. So this week we got some clarity as to what the way Andy Reid wants to go with the wide receiver room. Following the game on Saturday, Andy Reid said they'll be keeping 6 or 7 receivers. That was a quote. And then offensive coordinator Matt Nagy said this week that they have some tough decisions to make in that wide receiver room, saying that they wish they could keep everyone, which I'm sure every NFL team, they wish they could keep 200 guys on their roster. But so our guy Justyn Ross flashed, finally got some first-team reps in a game. He had 2 targets, one – it's like a pass deflection, and then the other one, Mahomes threw it to him on kind of a whip route. And he took it for like 12, 13 yards. But two reps with the first team, 2 targets, which is a pretty good thing. And then Rashee Rice looked pretty good, early drop, and then looked amazing. Leads all receivers in preseason with yards after catch. Pretty good. So it's coming down to the 6 or 7 guys, and the 3 guys everyone's boiling it down to is Justyn Ross, Emar Smith-Marsette, and our guy Cornell Powell, who we've had on our show. They're saying that those are the last 3 guys. It's going to be one of those 3 that makes the team. Some are saying it's going to come out of the special teams reps. All 3 of the guys have had pretty much equal special teams reps during the preseason so far. Only one who's gotten first team reps is Justyn Ross with the offense. So, JD, with Smith-Marsette doing this thing at the preseason game on Saturday, Cornell Powell looking pretty good, and Justyn Ross obviously doing what he's been doing. What do you make of the last receiver spot? Most Chief fans think Justyn Ross has it locked, but the fact that some people are just saying that it could be one of these other guys, what do you make of what's going on in that wide receiver room?
You know what? I really do believe that it's going to come down, obviously, to special teams. I think Justyn Ross is actually above somewhere, not even in that category of even thinking he's going to get cut, to be honest with you. So I think he's probably locked in 5 or 6, to be honest, as far as at least my estimation of it, from what I've seen, and especially how they've been talking about him. And so he's a guy I think deservingly so needs to make the roster. And so he, gets the nod over the other two, man. I like ISM and of course our guy Powell. Those guys been playing, spectacular too. And like you said, it's one of those things that you hate to see a guy go. You hate to see, but this is part of the business, right? When he starts getting down to the 53-man roster, who you going to keep wide receiver wise? But it's going to be based off of, we know this, special teams more than anything else. And so who's been playing special teams? Who could actually go down and cover and make a tackle? Who can go and block and do all those different things that you're asking that guy to do? That's going to be putting in all the hard work, all the extra stuff, just to be on a roster. Who's more suited for those things? So I don't think Justyn Ross is in that seventh one. I think it's more between ISM and Powell. I think Powell, to me, just because of what he's done, special team wise, I think he's a bigger body, and I think he just, if I'm making a decision, this is me making a decision. I like Powell. I do.
Yeah, and obviously on a personal level, him coming on the show, he's a really good guy. Just obviously outside the football field. But so obviously there's some kind of uncertainty with Kadarius Toney's injury of when he'll be back. And so we talk about 6 or 7 receivers, and if you look at the numbers right now, so we have Rashee Rice, MVS, Sky Moore, that's 3, Justin Watson 4, Richie James 5, Kadarius Toney. Adding him in there, so that's 6, and then Ross, that's 7.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and here's a possibility. Somebody brought this up, and I was just like, you know what? It is a possibility. Is it a possibility, depending on where Kadarius Toney is, does he start on IR? Okay, and that's part of the reason I say that is because if that is something that they had to say, hey, look, we want to make sure that he's healthy. We want to give him and that's part of the reason why you put these guys in to see how they operate with the first team with Patrick Mahomes. And so we've said this. It's like, why rush a guy back when you don't need to if the guys underneath him are capable of stepping up and making plays? And so that is a possibility. That is a possibility putting Kadarius Toney on IR. So that's why I say that, and I'm looking at the numbers on saying those things, because you got to almost consider that somewhat. You have to consider that. I don't know how far he is, and it's they hold these things kind of close to their chest, right? Because he's like, we know he might be back first game. I don't know. What I do know is this: it's a long season. It's a long season. Okay. We talked about this, but we need him in the playoffs. We need him deep into, the games to make sure that we have him healthy. We need to make sure that he is healthy. And I talked about this also too, talking about Snead as well, being healthy. These guys need to be healthy. We shouldn't have to rush these guys back, especially you have capable guys that's there in their same position that can do the job. So that's how I look at it. That's just the numbers game I'm playing in my head right now.
And that would make sense based on Reed saying 6 or 7 receivers. Because you say Kadarius Toney, you add him in there, that is 7. So and they've started to roll back the timeline with Kadarius Toney. Last week they said something like, there's no timeline for his return, which 2 weeks ago they said, he'll be back by week 1. Last week they talked about rolling back his time. They don't really have a timeline anymore. So that would go along with him being on IR. So then you need to keep 7 receivers.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That it brings up one of those other guys, Marsette or Powell. So that would make sense. So my question here, Reed said they may play the starters for a little bit on Saturday. Could we see more of Smith-Marsette and Powell okay, if we don't see Justyn Ross at all in this game, does that mean he's a lock, or maybe he gets 1 rep? No.
Oh, no. Listen, look, these guys need as much work as possible. That's just the reality of it, because then, you can make your decision based off of that. So, NFL is all about consistency, okay? And the guys got to be good consistently so you can make the team. And so if you're unproven and this is the first year that you actually played in the NFL, they want to get everything out of you that they can, especially in preseason. They want to make sure they got a good look at you, not only just for the Chiefs, but maybe for other teams. Like they might be vying for him, right? We know deals are happening all the time. I mean, it's just how it happens. It is willing and dealing in the NFL, right? Willing and dealing. That's what's going on. And so guys are being evaluated. A talent like Justyn Ross, you don't want to be able to let go, to go to a different team and for him to strive. You want to make sure, like, hey, we are solid on this guy based off everything he's done during preseason, training camp. We want to make sure that we're making good decisions on things like this. That's it. And you had to do that evaluation. There's no way on Saturday that Justyn Ross only gets one series. There's no way. We got to know what this kid's got. Shoot, so anything, Justyn Ross might get maybe more of the reps. Even Rashee Rice. These guys gonna get more reps. We need to know, and that all that is determined off of what will determine about Kadarius Toney's future with us. Gotcha. You know what I mean? That's how I'm going to be determined off of that. And so that's what I want to say about that, because guys you parsing these things out. The coaches have to look at it and say, man, can we get away with not having this guy here? Or should we make this decision? So these guys are going to get a lot of work on Saturday. Believe me, they are.
Yeah. That was a question I asked because, like, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, we'll see Saturday. If Ross is playing a lot, that means he's playing for a spot on the team. And we might, if he's playing a lot, that means he's fighting for a spot on the roster because he might be a fringe guy. Because a lot of people are still, even all the stuff he's done, they still think he's a fringe roster guy. I don't think that. You don't think that. Yeah, and also people are saying it maybe Smith-Marsette, if Smith-Marsette, Powell, and Ross are playing, those three are the ones fighting for that last spot, and that's what that would indicate, because the ones probably aren't going to play that much. But I mean, what you're saying, these guys are still new to the game. They still need to have the reps to kind of get in the NFL rhythm. So any rep is another day, another rep to showcase.
They need that work. They need them work more than ever, more than anybody else. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the roster lock right now, that as it's looking at, is MVS, Sky Moore, Richie James, because all the things he can do on special teams. Justyn Watson made the case, obviously, as being that 4. And then it's everybody else. I mean, Kadarius Toney, right? But I'm taking him out of the equation as being that guy. We know he's going to, that's the 5. But everybody else, look, we got to figure out who the guys are going to be.
Yeah. And
so I do believe it's going to be 7. Because, all right, I ain't going to say nothing silly. Quality guys, I think we got quality guys. We got a lot of young, kind of unproven guys in the quality guys that we have. So the more reps you get, it's one thing to be in practice. When game time comes, I'm telling you, it's a whole different level. I mean, the dial is turned up game time. And when you see it, when you're going in, you're looking at against the Lions, the Jaguars, and all, you start looking against those guys, you're going to see what's going on. You're going to see how different it is playing against these guys. You just saw it. And that's for the entire season, when you got 53, you got to make sure you got the right guys. You have to. And they got to put the work in. So that's the lock right now that I'm looking at, okay? And then, you get your draft picks, and we got to, we obviously, we're going to be a little bit more respective of them, having time and getting them developed.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, you best believe these guys are going to get a great look, man. They're going to get a great look. So.
Following the game on Saturday, so I wanted to ask you. So obviously Ross had the 2 reps with Mahomes. Everyone loved the whip route that he had.
Good.
What did you think of his route running? Because he had that, and he also had another, like, wasn't an out and up, but it was kind of a corner route with Gabbert. Gabbert missed him on the throw, but it was an amazing hesitation move where he had to where he went to the corner in the end zone. Would have been a touchdown if Gabbert had hit him. What did you think about his route running and how he's kind of showcased his ability to run routes so far, as far as Justyn Ross?
I mean, since I get to see all his routes, I'm trying to look at the entire game, but the route that I see, it was a great route. It was a great route. Looked great. And that's the consistency you want. You want a guy to be consistent running routes like that. If you're getting that out of a guy consistently, then it's an easy choice. It's an easy choice because that means he's getting open. Now, whip route, to be honest with you, okay, I'm not crushing anything, but you better win on a whip route. I'm serious. Like the whip route is like that's the whole purpose. You run it that way to win, and so he ran it textbook. It was a great route. And the one that Blaine Gabbert threw to him in the corner, I can't remember that one. I'm trying to. I've seen a lot of good routes by guys out there. But Justyn Ross, he runs some really good routes. I think my evaluation sometimes when I'm watching, I'm looking for some more explosion somewhere, right? It's like it's a tinge of like explosion I'm looking for that hopefully he displays on Saturday, okay? That they give him the full bag to kind of like, look, man, when you get out here, I want you to go play. I want to see it. I want to see all out there. I want to see all out there. It's great to see the one-on-ones, catch those things in practice. Absolutely. Saturday, we're gonna put you on display. We're gonna give you, the full open up the offense, running these routes to see what you can do. Okay, maybe some one-on-ones to get yourself open against these guys. Okay, a different jersey. And that's a different evaluation. But I think, with Embry, M's done said some things like, man, he's got this. He's got the athletic ability to do these different things, right? I just want to see all of his skill set. So if he has that burst and all those different things, I want to see even more of it. I mean, we seen him get up the sideline, man. He's a talented kid, man. He's talented. I love Justyn Ross. I do. I think he's an incredible talent.
Yeah, no, I agree. And obviously, since you weren't on last week with Jody Fortson out for the season, what do you make? Because I mean, Fortson had a kind of a role where he was a kind of a red zone threat. He probably during the regular season, you probably wouldn't see him at all in the field up until we get to like the red zone area. Justyn Ross is a big target. He's a big guy. Could you see him having that kind of role as far as maybe a red zone guy with Fortson not being there?
I don't know. And the only reason is because some of the red zone things that we do is not necessarily typical for a big guy, because you would look for, kind of jump balls, back shoulder type of kind of throws. And we don't do enough of it to say, hey, this is what this guy does. This is a particular role with Jody Fortson to come in. Now, obviously, Jody would do some wheel routes and things like that. He would just get open, and his big body would get guys open. But he was a lot physical on doing those things. So it would take chances. But a lot of it was, he was just running some good routes. Will Justyn Ross take that role? I don't know. That has to be that's desired to be seen, I guess. Yeah. But I don't know if it's saying like, hey, man, you know what? This is Jody, what he did. We're going to bring Justyn in to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. That could fall into to Noah Gray or somebody, the other guys, as opposed to Justyn Ross on doing those things. Yeah. Maybe a more stronger body, stronger guy. Being a big guy is one thing, but you could be a big guy, get thrown around, get tossed. It's true. So, yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't really have much of the girth. I think I saw Dan Orlovsky, and it's something I said on the show a couple months back. He kind of reminds me. I'm not saying he is, but he's got the same body type, the same kind of length as a prime AJ Green. Very similar skill sets as far as their body types and the way they and kind of the way they play. Really, obviously, AJ Green had a really good career. Hopefully, Justyn Ross has that kind of career. But I mean, if you look at the comps, I mean, they do resemble each other a lot the way they play.
Yeah, AJ was a beast out there, man.
He was.
So it was a beast.
He was. If we can get even a little bit of AJ Green and Justyn Ross, I'd be so happy.
He got it, man. Hey, I wanted to do. Bing! Go on, drop it into him. Shoot. So.
Mahomes did say Rashee Rice kind of reminded him of Sammy Watkins, which when we had our post-draft show, Tasia. My brother actually said that he reminded him of Sammy Watkins, which is funny. A couple months later, Mahomes is saying he's got a little bit of Sammy Watkins in him. Do you see that kind of comp with Rice's kind of ability as far as after the catch?
I do somewhat of it. I think Sammy had the injury and stuff like that too, man. Sammy could have been absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was. Sammy did a great job, in playing and stuff like that. So I do see a little bit of that. I do see a little bit of Sammy in him. And I like Sammy's hands. Sammy had strong hands, strong body, get up the field, and so yeah, I could definitely see, a little bit of Sammy, comparison with Rashee Rice. Yeah. I do. I think with him, Rashee just got to get a little bit more comfortable, right? I think it's, the speed of the game and getting open and the physicality of the entire game. That's going to be the challenge for him. Okay, just getting to that full speed of the game. But once he gets it, I think he's going to be in. Like, hey man, I got it now. That's when you want to see a guy. When you see a guy figure things out, as a coach and even as players, like, this dude figured this. He's figured it out now. You can see it in him. You can see the confidence he's got. He's walking with a little bit a different stride in when he's coming in. Okay, he got a little gait in the step, little different gait, little giddy up, if you will. All right, and when that sucker does that, coming from SMU, that's what we want to see. Okay, a little gallop. How about that? Huh? I like that gallop, baby.
Little pep in the step.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then one thing when they asked when they told Rashee Rice that Mahomes said that you reminded him of Sammy Watkins, he was like, Mahomes said that? He was all right, okay then. Mahomes said then, so be it. Whatever he says.
Yeah.
So yeah, hoping those guys put out and do their thing on show out on Saturday against the Browns. And that's the thing. Everyone's so excited about Rashee Rice and Ross, and like these guys could be the potential the next 4 years of receivers with those two guys, and so hopefully, yeah.
But I tell you, that's what I love about it. I love the youth that we have, and especially if there's going to be the guys that we're looking to lean on these next few years. They're trying to worry about free agency and all these different things. Get these guys ready, prepared right now, right? This is the greatest time for them to do it. And so even with KT, if he's out, he's out. But it's like, get ready, go on, get what you need to do. Don't. These young guys are gonna get it. They're gonna get better. We're gonna see them. We're seeing them, starting to figure these things out. So I think this evaluation, man, is gonna be tough. It really is. But I think the coach is gonna get it right. I think they will. I don't have any questions in the guys that you named as far as their ability. This Saturday, I want to see some more. I just want to see consistency. I want to make sure that these guys are getting to that place where you can rely on them in a real game.
Yeah, and I think that the promising thing is that there's so many people out there who are so scared of Ross being cut. People are such big fans of his story. It plays a big part in that. I believe that true underdog, counted out. Everyone thought he was going to be done with football. Came back, so he's got a lot going for him. Obviously, his play on the field is one thing, but I think the thing I took away is, and obviously more about this in preseason. He finally gets reps with the ones, and right away he comes in and literally on the same drive he gets 2 targets from Mahomes. Is that something that Mahomes wanted to get him the ball to see how he would fare in this, or is that he came in and he just looked that good? Mahomes was throwing to him, or was he the first read on the play? I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors that goes into it, but the fact that he got 2 targets and finally getting on the field with ones was kind of telling.
Well, the whip route was definitely one for sure that he was going to throw. And I'm sure Mahomes is, he's cognizant of everybody, where everybody is, what the defense is giving him. And so he's going to take what the defense gives him. I know, like I said, the whip route definitely was one. The other one, I think he's just kind of working in, and he was like, okay, it was going to be that little dump.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You said he's sleeping on Patrick's couch. So Patrick's like, hey, man.
He was spending some time with him at his place this summer, yeah.
Hey, Justyn, I'm coming to you on this one.
Yeah, dude, how we do it like in the backyard.
Mhm. Exactly. So it's good that they built a relationship and kind of like what's the one wide receiver what's his name? I can't Detter or whatever his name.
Oh, Dieter?
Dieter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dieter was close to Patrick Mahomes. Hey man, shoot.
He just didn't have that Justin Ross talent.
Right. So now it's gonna be a good thing, man. It's gonna be a good thing. I think Justin Ross, man, is gonna be here for a few years, and he fits right into what we do. He does.
Yeah.
So.
And then one thing they always say about him is he's such a different receiver than we have in the room and that we have had in the room. And that whenever you hear that, it's like, it's really like they're obviously a big fan with what differences he brings to what we don't have or haven't had in that receiver room. And if you look at him, you can tell he is different than what we've had.
Yeah, but it expands your offense. It really does. You expand your options to now, right? It may grow into, hey, man, red zone guy, let it grow into this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's draw some plays up for him.
Yeah.
Right?
The stuff we wanted them to do with Josh Gordon, they never did.
Never did. That's right. That's right. So.
Yeah, so very exciting receiver room. And obviously the coaching staff's going to have their hands full making decisions in that department. So obviously receivers was a big topic this offseason, but so was offensive line. And I remember the first few conversations we had this offseason was about Orlando Brown Jr., what's going to happen with him, what's going to happen with our tackle situation. Brought in Juwan Taylor. We thought it was going to be a left tackle, ends up going to stick at right tackle. And we brought in Donovan Smith, former left tackle for the Buccaneers. He's had some solid seasons, but also has been injured for the last few years. Just off and on injuries and stuff, but played last year through it, and that's a lot of people say that was the reason why he played so poorly. But so far during the preseason, looks amazing. Mahomes even made a comment after the game on Saturday that he usually likes preseason to kind of get hit a little bit, just to kind of feel like get some contact, but the offensive line has not allowed that to happen. So everyone's online talking about this potentially being the best offensive line that Patrick Mahomes has played in since his time in Kansas City. Now, let me ask you, JD, do you agree that this is the best offensive line that Mahomes has played with since he's been in Kansas City? And what do you make of the offensive line and the two tackles so far?
One, that remains to be seen. Obviously, you want to get into the games. I think that evaluation has to happen halfway through the season, or even, at the end of the season, make that assessment. But look at on paper. I mean, you could say a lot of different things right now, but it's too early. It's too early. These guys haven't really played a whole lot yet. So, I mean, it's easy to say, but you ain't seen nothing. Come on, man. Let's be honest, right? Like, before we start getting into saying these things and whatnot, let's do a full evaluation. Okay, let's do a full evaluation, because your opinion may change. Week 6 or 8 or 10 or 12. Okay, so but look, I love Donovan Smith. That joker right there, man, is an absolute mauler. I've been watching him, man. He's physical, tough nose. He's the type of player that I appreciate and I love. Playing a tackle. He just got that gritty to him. Not a dirty player, but he's tossing guys around. Like, he's gonna beat you up, and that's what I love about it. And that's his mindset right now. That's what we needed, a guy like that to come in. That's what I was talking about. This is like when his old offensive line coach was saying that, man, this dude could be one of the top left tackles in the NFL. He was on the trajectory of doing that, before the injury and whatnot. But so the thing is, man, we got a great deal with Donovan Smith. I like his feet. I've been watching his feet. I'm watching his hands. I'm just watching him. He's beating guys up. He's beating them jokers up right now. Juwan, he's doing a good job. He's got to get his feet down. It's going to be a little bit different because now he's got Patrick Mahomes. Patrick holds the ball a little bit longer than, other quarterbacks. It's just, that's reality. Our tackle's going to have a harder job with Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I'm not saying anything that is not controversial. It's just reality. Okay, Patrick couldn't escape with his legs. He didn't get hit during the game, but I seen him doing some escaping, which I don't want to see. I don't want to. They had like 5 Cardinals run after him. I'm like, no. Throw that sucker in the dirt. You don't need 3rd and 20. You don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Throw a sucker over the stands.
Yeah.
I used to tell my guys all the time when I was coaching, I tell my quarterbacks, look, if you don't see nothing down the field, I'm always open on the sideline as a coach. Order me. I catch it. Really. And that's kind of how I feel with that. So full game evaluation we had to get to. We had to get to that point, man. But it's some things that's going to be different that they're used to as far as playing with Patrick Mahomes. That's the reality. I don't think people want to really talk about that as much. Having a little dispute with a dude, on Twitter about some silliness about, OBJ and all of this thing, right? OBJ is in Cincinnati now, right? Cool. Wiley is his upgrade without a doubt was with Juwan. We still had to take in consideration the drops, the quarterback drops, how deep he gets in the drop, but also too ball getting at his hand. Patrick loves home runs. He does. He loves the big plays. He loves making big plays. He looks down the field, and he's used to escaping and doing some things with his feet that other quarterback's not used to doing. So Patrick's not going to be your typical pocket passer. He's just not. So that's the difference there. Are these guys up to the task? I think so, but we have to wait and see. I think I like I said, I like Donovan. Okay, and I like Juwan. I think these guys are without a doubt great offensive tackles. Okay, if they weren't, we would have paid $80 million. Then we would have went and got a big deal with Donovan Smith. When we couldn't get a left tackle in the draft, which we were going for. That's what was the deal. Mm-hmm. And he fell in our lap, man. I was just like, man, that's a home run right there. Love it.
Yeah. You were one of the few people that kind of kept Chiefs Kingdom at bay when we signed Donovan Smith. A lot of people were upset about the signing, didn't know if he was going to play left or right tackle. And you're like, no, he's going to play left tackle, and he's a good left tackle. He just had injury. So the fact that now everyone's coming around on Donovan Smith, it's funny to see the how Chiefs Kingdom just goes in circles with their takes on everything. But the one thing that everyone's talking about, what I wanted to ask you, not to compare Orlando Brown Jr. and Donovan Smith. But before we get that, I just want to say everyone's posting pictures of Juwan Taylor and Donovan Smith, and then posting pictures of Wiley and Orlando Brown Jr. and saying, like, which tag team would you think is going to win? Juwan Taylor, Donovan Smith, or Wiley and Orlando Brown Jr.? You can just tell, like, these guys passed the eye test, the look test, and they're just like
look test, eye test, of course, yeah, right. Look test, eye test, obviously, people want to pick, Donovan and Juwan. That's what they're going to do, all right. And it's just, eye test. Yeah. That's what it is. So.
But so far, so you talked about, like, Donovan Smith's kind of the way he's played, it's kind of like an old school left tackle, like kind of mauler. He's got a meanness. Kind of like a Trey Smith, but the tackle, that meanness. Sure. Is that the biggest differences you've seen so far? Obviously, small sample size. You only have 2 games. In this game, what they played like 3 or 4 drives with Mahomes and stuff. But what's the biggest difference you'd say what you're seeing from the left tackle spot with Donovan Smith's providing to us that we didn't see from Orlando Brown Jr.?
I think that's part of the difference. I think that's where Donovan looks to dominate all the time. And I think Orlando Brown Jr. was still learning the left tackle. Like, just, man, I'm trying to tell you the kind of the difference in it where, he's getting the intricate parts down, with his feet and his hands, and he's punching, he's trying to be technique sound. And Donovan's like, look, I'm going to be technique sound, but I'm going to be a little dirty. I'll cut you right here at this time. I'm going to punch you in the back of your head on another one. I'm going to hit you in your gut. You fall on the ground. I'm going to jump on top of you. To him, it's war. That's the difference I see right now as far as dealing with it. Not saying that Orlando Brown didn't see it as war, but, in battles, people fight differently, right? You can see somebody who's more of a scrapper, and then you see more who's a guy who's a tactician, all right? And so when you're looking at boxers, a boxer who's going to hit you everywhere. They're going to hit you in your shoulder, in your gut, in your ribs, a couple of head punches that you know is illegal. Hey, yeah, you know, hey, I'm going to give you a warning. He's like, okay, I got it. But he got that punch in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see Donovan Smith doing. And so he is a brawler. He is a mauler. That's what I like about him. I mean, that's the difference I see. Okay. And so when you go into war with a guy like that, man, in film, you're like, man, look at what Donovan did to this guy. Oh, look at that. Woo, look at that. And these things come up, man. You start seeing him in film, and he'll be celebrated for it. He need to be a pat on the back, the other boy things because of it too. And the good thing about that is when you do things like that, you get the defense frustrated, okay? You take a little bit out of the defense. You know, we talking about chips and stuff like that. So imagine a guy getting chipped, also the tackle catching that chip and he's jumping on top of him. Like he's going to take some – look, the best thing to do is take some plays out of the defender. That's what you want to do. You want to slow that pass rush down. You want to slow him coming off the football hard. It is a battle out there. It's a physical game. You got to be physical. You got to hit guys everywhere. Everywhere. They got pads on. Hit them. So that's a big difference.
And now you have two, and also raise the stakes on the old line because I mean, before we always post highlights. Oh, Trey Smith, look at that pancake, or Creed Humber, look at that pancake. Now you have your left tackle involved with that now, so everyone's going to be kind of competing for pancakes, and obviously they do it anyways. But you have three guys in the line who are road grading people out there.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's lovely. That's beautiful. That's like guys I play with.
Yeah.
You know, that's the type of ball that I'm used to. And you want your guys on the offensive line to have that nastiness, that meanness to them, okay? That it is a battle out there. Like that's where the game is won. It's won in the trenches. This is, you know, when we use, you know, comparisons about war and things like this, this is the reason. Everything in football was based off the military system and environment. So your mentality has to go there too. I mean, because that's what it is. You don't want to get beat. You don't want to lose. And so you got to do everything you need to do to win. There's going to be some scrapping. There's going to be some holding. There's going to be some hitting. You know, you'll see some guys when defenders might jump on the quarterback, maybe late and stuff like that. That offensive tackle will let you know, man, don't do that again. Don't do that again. I've seen you. Don't. And this, what are you going to do? I'll show you. I'm going to show you exactly what's going to happen next play. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, his play definitely jumps off when you're watching the film. You could just see, like, if you're just an alien just watching the Chiefs game for the first time, you watch a clip from last year, watch a clip from this year, you just see instantly right away who's that. That's a different left tackle than you had last year. You can just tell right away just the way they play. It's a different. Seems like one's more aggressive than the other one, where it seems like it's not Orlando Brown was catching defenders back there, but it seems more like I don't know. It just seems like more like Donovan was kind of going into the battle, whereas Orlando Brown was kind of taking it on.
Yes.
There's a difference there.
There's a big difference right there. And so, and guys, however you play it out to be effective, right? Then so be it. I don't mind if a guy, like if we're talking, you know, fighting styles, somebody's using Aikido as opposed to jiu-jitsu, right? Or, you know, somebody's going to be the mauler, MMA. Whatever you need to do, get the job done. But you just got to make sure that job is being done and it's effective.
Yeah, as long as it works.
As long as it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can make a guy tap out. If I could break an arm in the process.
It's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, you know, people were going on talking about the best line. Let's wait. We've only seen these guys have 4 drives together. So let's
take it easy. Hey, just take it easy. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, we're seeing them against the Cardinals, who's everyone thinks is going to be the worst team in the league this year. Again, let's wait. Let's wait this one out. Let's see how they do against the Hutchinson and the Lions on week 1. So that there you go, first test right there.
Yeah. So let me say it this way: they could be. How about that? It could be. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll wait and see until we start making that opinion. How about that?
Could be. I'm going to hold you to that. They could be the best offensive line Mahomes has had.
The reason, man, because there's a whole lot of opinions going on out there right now. There's a whole lot.
A lot.
You know?
And we're about to get into a topic where it's a very polarizing topic and a polarizing person in the Chiefs kingdom world on Twitter right now. Yeah, so you've gotten into Twitter arguments about this. So we got this week, Chris Jones is obviously still not in the building. And although Andy Reid did not want to talk about Chris Jones, pretty much saying there is no communication with Chris Jones, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Chris Jones on this segment. So this week, Chris Jones was asked on Twitter when he returned to the team, and he replied, "Week 8." Arrowhead Live then quote tweeted that, saying that'd be a hefty tab. Chris then replied saying, "I can afford it." So, Chris has been taken to social media to kind of say a lot of things throughout this whole period. But the one thing that stands out to me, it's not like Jonathan Taylor or some of these other guys who have asked out, who say they want to go, they want to be traded. He's not really saying that at all. He's not. He just wants to get paid by the team. Mahomes' press conference the other day, he wants to be in Kansas City. He loves Kansas City. And, I think he said, "I love him and I can't wait till he comes back." So it's like, he's going to be here, guys. So like everyone needs to relax, but everyone's so polarized. Like, he doesn't want to be there. He wants to get paid. He wants to, kill the team's cap future and stuff. Like, that's not what it is. But JD, you're a former player. You've been in negotiations. You've talked it out with teams. You know how both sides are thinking. From the player's point of view, what the team's point of view is. Can you kind of give us some insight as to what is going on right now?
What's going on at this moment is everybody's dug their heels in. This is where it's at. And so, make no mistake about it. All this time trying to get everything done, I think Chris is at a point of saying, "Hey, this is my numbers. I don't have to say anything else. I've said all I had to say. We've talked it out. We've had meetings. Y'all know where I am with this, okay?" And the Chiefs are kind of like, "Hey, man, look, let's talk about this more and stuff like that." Chris is like, "Man, I'm this is where I am. This is where I am. Until something else comes to me that seems doable, then there's nothing much more to say." And so he's going to ride this thing out. This is what it seems like. It seems like he's willing to ride this thing out unless something gets done in these next few weeks, which can absolutely happen. This is part of negotiation, though. Okay? This is negotiation tactics. Which one is going to blink first? Counting down playing chicken. And the thing is, look, we got to remove all the emotion out of it. Okay? It's just business. It's all business. Okay? But let me say this. Okay? And let's make no mistake about it. Chris Jones is our best defensive player. Chris Jones is one of the top defensive players in the entire NFL. Chris Jones is 1 and 2 defensive tackles in the entire NFL. He's top 5 in sacks at all the positions on defense in the past 5 years. I think he's like number 4. Chris Jones elevates every single position on defense on that side of the ball. Chris Jones makes linebackers and the secondary's jobs that much easier. He is vital and pivotal to our success on defense. Make no mistake about it. Part of why the Chiefs have been getting better is because Chris Jones has been doing a tremendous job playing at the defensive tackle. He's been one of the most dominant guys in the NFL for the past few years, while being double teamed, while having some guys beside him not playing as good, okay? Because he's happened to take the brunt of it. His pressures, his output, everything he's been given puts him up at the top of the league. Make no mistake about it. So we can sit there and people could be upset about Chris Jones wanting to get paid. The man's been doing a job to get paid. It should be warranted and justified for him to get paid. And guess what? I would say that every single teammate has his back and support his choice. They understand that. These guys are friends. This is family, okay? This is family. And so They understand that. They want Chris to get paid money because these guys are going to be in the position to get paid money. Now, look, I get that. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce took team-friendly deals. We visited that already, okay? We visited that. Chris is saying, look, I'm 29 years old. I understand my shelf life is only what it is. I'm at this point in my career that I might have just one more contract to hit, okay? One more. And I'm trying to set myself up. I have every right to do that. He does. He has every right to do that. Every single person who's out here working, okay, under a company or any type of organization has every right to try to get the money they feel like they're owed or that they're worth. All right? You don't cut your legs from underneath you. You don't have to sit there and take whatever. If somebody else is in the company is taking a company-friendly deal, all right? I'm not saying that Chris has asked for anything astronomical. His play has justified what his pay is. We don't even know what it is. We have no idea what it is. That's another thing too, because we don't know what all the stipulation is, and there's a lot of variables in this. Chris wants to be a Chief for life. The Kansas City Chiefs want Chris to be a Chief for life. They're just in an impasse right now. Hopefully, things will come up that they say, look, we both got to compromise to get to a place where we're both happy. Okay? The problem goes into that all of a sudden, fans and people who are being critical of the whole situation with Chris and whatnot turns him into the villain all of a sudden. Why? So all the oh, we love you, Chris, and all that. All that. What is that? Is that fake love? Is that what it is? Look, I understand the relationship between players and fans and all that, right? But these guys, they're out there to try to make as much money as possible, to have lucrative deals, to capitalize on certain situations. Everybody in America, well, not everybody, but most people, capitalist system, they want to capitalize on what they have in America. That's what they want to do. That's the American way, right? So people are doing it. There's no guarantees. Shoot, Chris, we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know. I'm just saying that sometimes we get our feelings involved in this. Fans get so deep into this on this saying now all of a sudden they're ready to just dump on him, which is crazy to me. All the things that he's done and not even seeing the scope of it. And I've seen, what ends up happening is people start reasoning why now all of a sudden Chris Jones don't need to be here. But it's never saying, well, shoot, we don't know what is being offered, Chris. We understand that everybody can't get team-friendly deals on guys. Maybe he feels like the deal I'm giving is fair. You may feel like it's team-friendly. Like, hey, man, it's a team-friendly deal I'm giving you. I'm not asking Aaron Donald money, but I want to be somewhere close. But the thing is, these things are going on behind closed doors. We don't know this. That's part of the negotiation because there's a lot of things that go into that negotiation. Chris just had been no communication because there is some frustration there. There's just like, yo, we're at a point. We're going to sit back with this. And maybe we revisit again. Right now, it ain't the time. We both need to just back away from the table. Chris is like, hey, man, I'm feeling some type of way about this. Not I'm feeling some type of way, not necessarily maybe with the organization because they're not meeting my demands, but now all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of hate from the fan base. That I've been sitting over here, working my tail off to win a Super Bowl and the championships. And I've been a part of that. I'm a big reason that we are Super Bowl champs. Oh, he had one sack in the playoffs. Well, shoot, what about his pressures and things that he's done? Right? What about all the sacks and stuff that he's done and the double teams he's taken on to get to that position of playing in the Super Bowl or the playoffs? None of those things matter all of a sudden? We're going to diminish him because he had one sack in the playoff? Oh, he didn't get burned. Yeah, he didn't. Where's the other guys? He got 10 other guys back there to make plays. So, he's fighting against the double teams and all of that, man. Look, to me, everybody just needs to chill out. Okay, man, don't get so emotionally involved in this. It's upsetting to me because all of a sudden, what ends up happening is sometimes you get this fake love from fans, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you don't do what they want you to do, they turn on you. Okay, well, they think what you ain't doing what they think you should do, and they turn on you. They don't know anything as far as the numbers. I don't know what the numbers are. All I know is, man, if you're going to be a fan of Chris Jones, be a fan of Chris Jones. And you say, man, hopefully these things, both parties will work these things out. Hopefully that'll happen. Okay? We know Chris wants to be here. We've known that. I don't think Chris is asking for like $40 million. But this is where we are. This is where we are.
And the one thing that strikes me is everyone keeps posting the record of Mahomes' record without Chris Jones, which is he's 4-2. So I looked at interesting. So I looked at two things. Mahomes, I looked at the 2 games they lost without Chris Jones. I didn't look at the 4 other games we won, but 2 games they lost without Chris Jones, they averaged we gave up 33.5 points, or no. It was 38 to Buffalo and 31 to the Houston Texans. So 69 points in 2 games. So we allowed 34.5 points with the games Chris Jones was out, which is the games we lost. But looking at the winning percentage, so I'm just going to look at, obviously it's 6 games. So the Mahomes' winning percentage without Chris Jones is 66.7%. His win percentage with Chris Jones, 81.1%, JD.
Yeah.
And that's a sample size of 74 games. So Mahomes is 60-14. I don't think this is including playoffs, just regular season. 60-14 with Chris Jones. So that's like I said, 81.1% win percentage versus without Chris Jones, 4-2, small sample size, but 66.7% win percentage.
Hey, look, man. Go ahead.
I think one shows you, and again, the dumb thing of comparing a quarterback versus defensive tackle is stupid anyway. The fact that people are actually doing this is dumb, but the win percentage is there, 81% with Chris Jones, 66.7 without him.
You can validate anything. You can try to justify it, whatever, right? You can do that.
Yep.
And so the thing is, with these numbers, I guaranteed all the players was like, hey, the 6 game we won might have been easy if we had Chris Jones here. You know, Patrick Mahomes I had to do, throw behind his back, through his legs and over, running around to get, maybe he had to do that for the 6 wins. But every guy would prefer to have Chris Jones in there. I promise you that. Those 6 games. Hey, man, carry the team. That's what guys are supposed to do. They're supposed to step up and carry the team. That's part of it. Chris Jones makes those paths easier to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Makes it easier. Because you need a beast on defense like Chris Jones. You need him. You can, and I've seen in the game, and I'm just evaluating it. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing some of the defensive schemes because they got to do the schemes of thinking when Chris is not in there, what do we do, right? So watch a little bit of it. The thing is, this is what has to transpire if you don't have Chris, okay? Because you're not getting that push up front. You don't have somebody who's taking the double teams and splitting them like Chris did. Like even if Chris didn't get back to the quarterbacks making errant throws, right? And now they're punting. They're putting the ball back in the offense end. Why? Because Chris Jones made a little pressure or he took the ball. All those different things. All these things has to be measured. They have to be. So, yeah, we can say 6-2. I really like to see the 6 games and the 2.
4-2, JD.
Oh, 4-2. 4-2. Okay. 4-2. Shoot. And 4 games could be in, like you said, it could have been Arizona or Houston at the time, Atlanta. We don't know who it was.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see. But even so, past the point, we should just wait all this thing out, man.
Yeah.
Let them guys handle it. But I don't think we need to dump on Chris, man. Chris done a great job here. We want him to be here, and we want to keep him open arms, like Patrick said. We want to welcome him with open arms. Let's start talking about this guy now to make him bitter and disgruntled, where he don't want to come back here to work. He's thinking people coming in patting him on his back because it's the only thing that they can do. You know what I mean? That's no.
Yeah. That's one thing we made it clear the GM's made it clear they don't want to trade him. They want to keep him. They've also done nothing to the defensive tackle room. Obviously, outside of drafting Keandre Coburn in the 6th round, they've done nothing in the defensive tackle room that indicates them wanting to move on and shift gears from Chris Jones. They haven't. I honestly wish they had brought in some defensive tackle help. I wanted the dude from UConn last year's draft, Travis Jones. We didn't draft him. The Ravens drafted him, but I wanted us to draft him, not to replace Chris Jones, which they have as a complimentary piece. They didn't even do that. So obviously there is no other pathway. They want to keep him in-house. They know they have to keep him in-house. So it's
been a revolving door of defensive ends and different guys to fit in here and whatnot. And the one consummate guy that we have in the inside is Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Well, why is that? Because he's been the most effective guy that we've had in the past 5 years. It's Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're trying to get guys around him as a piece, to make pressure. Chris is bringing it up the middle. We need some guys from the outside, okay? Collapse the pocket. Chris does a great job of that. Heck, we brought in different guys from other teams, a free agent, to play opposite Chris as a defensive tackle. Those guys has come and gone.
Yeah.
Got one of the best in the NFL. Come on, man.
Yeah. It's people just say there's a couple things here. It's like the fact that people, we brought in Frank Clark. We gave him a lot of money. We gave him more money than we gave Chris Jones, who's justified their contract so far. Chris Jones has outplayed his contract. Frank Clark's no longer with the team. But it's not like we're randomly picking a guy and hoping that this guy plays up well to his contract. We know what Chris Jones is capable of. We know what he's done, and we know what he can do. And I mean, that's it. I don't understand why people are so hesitant. And what are we talking about here? They're probably maybe $1 to $3 million off. This is already a lot of money anyway. Really, we're holding off on $1 to $3 million, whatever it is. It's not that big of a deal compared to what the big thing of his contract already. Come on, guys.
If it is that, then it shouldn't be a big deal. But we don't know if that's what it is, though, Marcus. We have no idea.
You're right.
That's the thing about it. Nobody's really saying nothing. Nobody's letting anything go, right?
Yeah.
And shoot, that's part of the negotiation. And so, we all just need to hold off. Need to just keep watching the games, keep cheering the guys on that's there, keep cheering Chris on, and keep cheering on the Chiefs.
Yep.
Their own organization, that they're going to work it out. It's business, man. It's business. Anytime these things happen, when a guy gets cut, we use business. Oh, it was business. We couldn't. Okay, well, the players, he's got a stance. He's got leverage. It's business. So he's doing it. He's using business.
Yeah.
He's not dedicated. You ain't saying that to the team when they get rid of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
The team's dedicated or not. So, hey, man, look, that's how negotiations work.
Yeah.
I know because I've been under 4 contracts, so I understand how these things work. Sometimes some of the things, the proposals you may get are terrible. And it's disrespectful and all, they tell you all the great things. Oh, we love you this. Yeah. But we know the Chiefs do love Chris Jones. We know that. And I know they're trying to save money for guys in the future. They'll have that money. They'll have that money. Everybody keeps using, we need to sign it. Man, Creed and them's a couple of years away. We'll have that money. Believe me. It's going to show up. Hey, they can do some things. They can work some things out with numbers. Believe me. The thing is, you want this dynasty. Sometimes it's going to take a little change. It's going to take a little do-re-mi, okay? Do it.
That's what Rod Tidwell said and Jerry Maguire. Show me the money, Jerry.
Show me the money. Show me the money. So,
yeah, it's just that people are just treating Chris Jones like he's Jonathan Taylor, who said he wants out. He has not said that. So, don't treat the guy like he wants to leave when he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay. He wants to get paid.
And look, don't push him out the door.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes attitude and the fans like, wow, really? This is what we're getting? This is what we're hearing right now? He's the guy, I forgot who showed about staying off social media. He was saying some things like that. I think How About Those Chiefs was showing it maybe. I seen the clip he did that. And yes, stay off social media. You vent your frustration, things come out, all these things are being said. I mean, oh man, you don't want to. I almost will see. Some people might even boo him. I see somebody say I lost respect with Chris Jones. Why? His legacy's tarnished? For what? How would his legacy be tarnished because the man's trying to capitalize off of what he has? I don't get it.
I don't get it, man. But the same people will turn around as soon as he's signed and be all about him again.
Man, forget that, man. Yeah, they will. They will. So what have you done for me lately? That's the reality of some of these things. I get it. I do. I get it. But then sometimes we act like this is our money. We bring it out of our own pocket to pay Chris.
I know. Yeah, I just think people are taking it personally. His things his social media stuff, like playing around with fans, like him doing that whole thing with Michael Bay, or Chris Jones, he quit the team or whatever. Like people are just taking that personally. It's like he's having fun. Like yeah. Does it mean to be? Is it unnecessary? Yes, but like it could be worse. It could be him going on social media saying I want out. He's not saying that.
Yeah, the antics. I get it. It's funny when when it starts on high and everybody's okay with it. Then it's not when you don't like what he has to say when he's pouring out maybe like some of his feelings like, hey man, like I don't know, right? Yeah, so hefty change and I don't know what Chris Jones. Man, Chris Jones is trying to hold to his guns. He's trying to get a contract that he feels that is justified for him. That's what he's trying to do. The Chiefs are trying to do the same. That's what's going on. So
2 weeks from today is the first game of the season. Will Chris Jones, if you were to make a bet right now, will Chris Jones be playing in that game 2 weeks from tonight?
2 weeks from the first game?
2 weeks from tonight would be game one of the season. Will Chris Jones be in that game?
You know what? I know he has to get ready anyway. He's going to do some work. It's going to take some time. If not the first or the second game, I'll put it that way. How about that? Okay. He'll be here. He'll be here. First or second game of the season for sure.
But week 8, out no week 8?
No, I don't think he pushes the week 8. I don't think so. I think if it goes to week 8, then he's definitely one out. Then you might see some other stuff come in, But I think week 1, he definitely is a possibility. If not week 2 for sure.
Yeah, gosh, I hope it gets all cleared up before week 1.
Yeah, I do too. I think and who's knowing both of them might be laughing at all of us.
I know. I know.
Like keep it going. Like we want to keep it. I just. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if everybody's as sinister as that, but it's whatever. Whatever, man. Look, we just hey, we deal with it. We deal with it. Stay at everybody else's business, grown folk business. Y'all stay out of it. Shoot.
Yeah. It was an Usher song that came out a couple years ago. It was "My Life, Your Entertainment." You're watching, but I'm living. It's his life, guys, and everyone's entertained by it, whether they're pissed off about it or not. They're entertained by it. Okay. So final topic: Isiah Pacheco, a guy who has been injured, had off-season hand surgery and off-season torn labrum. Surgery on his torn labrum. Finally cleared to practice this week. Yellow jersey's off, red jersey on, receiving carries, and officially the RB1 in the offense. JD, Andy Reid talks about wanting to get the ones out in the field on Saturday for a little bit. Pacheco, he doesn't know if he's going to play on Saturday, but he was at the podium the other day. He says he wants to play. He wants to get some contact. He wants to feel like he really hasn't had that this entire offseason or training camp. He wants to get that because he's going to be playing in 2 weeks. And he wants to get that in-game contact. If I know we talked about not rushing guys back if they don't have to, especially week 3 of preseason, because there's guys out there who are fighting for their lives, who are fighting for their NFL careers who will be playing in those games. So not everybody is getting ready for week 1. This would be just a warm-up for him. If you were Andy Reid, would you play him in the game on Saturday, or would you not risk it?
If it's my decision, no, you ain't playing. Have a seat. You'll get contact in practice, but game 1 is when we're going to let you go, okay? We'll let you get ready in practice because we know you still have that juice. There ain't no problem with him having the juice, in game time. We ain't worried about that. But we don't want something silly to happen. And guys, like you said, who's trying to be a hero and trying to make the team, trying to do something, outlandish and could, re-injure his shoulder. What's another week? And I know he's anxious. I know he's antsy. I get that. I know he wants to play. He's been wanting to do this. But Saturday, hey, man, nah. I want you to watch from the sidelines. Matter of fact, I might let you dress out. I might let you put your pads on. Get a little work. We'll let everybody think, you're doing something. And then when it comes to it, I'm going to make sure the trainer take his helmet from him. He is not going in. You understand? Take Pacheco's helmet, all right? He is not going in. When we sitting there saying, national anthem, all that stuff, find Pacheco's helmet, okay? It's stash at.
Is that when you see you don't want to play, obviously, risk of re-injury? He's obviously clear for contact, so he's obviously fine now. But is it because of his style of play mixed with the other factors of week 3 of preseason? Is that what it is, too? Is the style of play mixed in with these guys who are fighting for their lives, their NFL lives?
I think so. We don't want to go too hard, and kind of getting him into practice, getting some physical part of it. Let's do it in practice. How about that? We got some time in practice. Guys are hitting you, different things like that, different drills. But you don't need to do it this preseason. So, but Andy, Andy make his decision. I don't know what he's going to do. I just know as far as his coach with me, let it be first game of the season. Okay, you'll get your workout in practice. First game of the season, we'll see. We'll do it. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I hope we get to see some Pacheco action. I wouldn't be upset if he doesn't play on Saturday. Obviously, we have a lot of talent in that running back room, so we'll see other guys again getting some playing time. So before we get out of here, JD, week 3 preseason, we kind of mentioned some guys are going to be fighting for their NFL careers. Any advice from a guy who played in the NFL as long as you did? Any advice you have for some of the guys, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's anywhere else in other 31 teams? Do you have any advice for guys who are potentially playing maybe their last game, maybe the game to try to get on a team? Any advice you got for them?
Just play your heart out. Play your heart out. Fight for every single snap, every single play, every single minute. Play like it's your last, because it could be. And so don't worry about making mistakes. You just go out there and play hard. You just put everything that you could possibly put into it. Study. Make sure that you are laser focused. You understand the scope of what is actually being asked of you. Okay? And you go out there and execute. And execute to the best of your ability. But more so, don't be tight. Don't worry about anything. You just go out there and have fun and just go play. Okay? And here's the thing about it. When you go out there and you play, this is a job interview for all 32 teams. That's what it is. So you may not make it with the Chiefs. It could be somewhere else. And that needs to be understood. All right? It needs to be understood. You don't have to make it here with the Chiefs. It could be somewhere else. Only you can put yourself in that position. So when you do have that chance and opportunity to get in there, you make sure you take it for everything that it's worth. Everything that it's worth.
All right.
That's what it has to be.
That's advice there from a guy who played in the NFL for a very long time, guys. So,
yes, sir.
He's been there. He's seen it all.
Seen it all. I've seen them come and go, man. I'm telling you, every single year, and it gets to that point, having guys understand exactly that the NFL is a business. And if you want to make it in NFL and get paid in NFL, then you got to become a businessman. And you got to take care of your business. And you got to perform. You got to perform consistently, and you got to do it well. So that's the bottom line. Pure and point blank. I think sometimes the frustration is, people don't understand how hard it is to make it to the NFL. They understand some of the things you get into to make it to the NFL. I'm going to say this. I've seen I seen the whole thing with Tua and Ryan Clark kind of go out. I didn't know it's actually what's going on, but I heard Ryan Clark today what he said, man. And it was perfect. What he said, because Ryan Clark understands what it takes to be into the NFL, and he said, he used the thing as a joke. I don't quite know what he said, but he realizes that, and just hats off to him, man. Just the character that he was able to say it. And most guys, man, that play the game, we understand that. We know what it takes to get to the NFL. So we don't want to ever diminish any guy or say anything that, I think is disrespectful. Some dudes play that way. I try not to play that way. I try to be fair in my evaluation because we know what it is. We know the time, the effort, and everything that it takes, the sacrifices that you have to make, how your body feels every single day after you get finished getting hit. Now, these guys may not be getting hit like we used to back in the day, but I'm telling you, you understand the pain that you go through, the mental anguish that you had to deal with, being away from your family, doing all these different things, and all of this for a game, for entertainment. This way you get paid good money. But also, too, you want the fans to have, you're trying to bring championships, wins, and stuff like that. And you're putting yourself and your life on the line. That's why fans understand that, too. These guys are dedicated, man. They try to make it. There's a reason.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a reason why Chris Jones is wanting to get paid as much as he can, because what's the acronym everyone says the NFL? Not for long.
Not for long. And Chris Jones, this is his last hurrah.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it. I think that's how he feels too. So,
yeah. So
pay the man.
Yeah, pay the man. Good way to
Y'all work it out. Y'all work it out. Y'all work it out together.
Yeah, Clark's got the cash. He can hook him up.
Yeah, they gonna be all right, man. Family, man. Sometimes you just gotta come to get grips with things.
Mm-hmm.
Family, we get there.
Yeah,
right.
So everyone's got to give a little bit.
Got to give a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, we will be posting our Bleacher Report link on Twitter and on our YouTube section where we can post that, so everyone can go in and join us for our preseason finale show on Bleacher Report this Saturday at 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. So,
put comments out there. We love to hear the comments, okay? So we can talk and converse with our fans and everybody who's checking our channel out. We love to hear it. All the good and the bad. We want to hear it.
Everything. All of it.
Yeah. I'm starting to become better, trying to engage a little bit more, Marcus, on the comments. So I'm trying to get in there and step in.
I've seen it. And then also next week, we'll finally hear JD's regular season prediction. Remember, he told us to wait till preseason's over. So next week, we got the prediction show, and also just talking about different predictions for the season, and the storylines will be playing out throughout the season. But very curious to hear what JD has as our for prediction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Well, have a good weekend.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.